Come closer, guys. Come closer.
Yeah.
It's so scattered.
You're on.
All right, tonight we're going to cover Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign. As we discussed before, we have 4 different signs: air, fire, water, and earth, and Capricorn is an earth sign. We learned in the beginning that the planet Saturn, which in Hebrew is Shabbat, governs over Capricorn. Planet Saturn also governs the sign of Aquarius. But Aquarius is an air sign, Capricorn is an earth sign, quite different. How could a planet rules almost two completely different signs, and we'll understand tonight, and we understand even more when we study Aquarius. Saturn is the biggest planet we have in our in the Milky Way, in our solar system, and it's the farthest to the sun. It's the farthest to the sun, farthest of all the planets. Mercury was the closest to the sun, and Saturn is the farthest to the sun. In Kabbalah, we learn that Saturn actually connects to Shabbat, has something to do with Shabbat, and Saturn also has something to do with the nation of Israel, and number 7. We know that there are 3 considered to be negative. Of course, we know there is no such thing as negative, but there are 3 months that they seem considered to be negative, and that's Leo, Cancer, and the last one is Capricorn. It says in the Torah that Moses was hidden 3 months when he was born. And we learn in Kabbalah that the fact that the Torah says that Moses was hidden for 3 months is indicate to us that there are 3 months that they consider to be negative. But then again, not negative, not bad, but as far as positive and negative, two different power, it's considered to be on the left column energy. And what's interesting about Saturn, tonight we're going to learn a lot about Saturn, Shabtai, because it has almost everything to do with Capricorn. As I said, Saturn is the largest planet, the farthest from the sun. It takes the most amount of time for Saturn to go around the sun. The speed of the Saturn is the slowest speed of all the planets. Mercury was the fastest. Saturn is the slowest of all. And when they look at the Saturn, and Abraham Avinu taught us this almost 4,000 years ago, when in his book Sefer Yetzirah, Book of Formation, he talks about the planets. He tells us that there is a ring. There is a ring around the Saturn. And these days with telescope, when they look at the Saturn, they see that there is a ice ring around the Saturn. And there are two letters that control this month. Is a letter Ayin that creates Capricorn, and letter Bet that creates the planet of Saturn. Bet stands for blessing, for Beracha. And Ayin is the letter that created the constellation of Capricorn. And if you put the 2 letters together, Ayin and Bet, the numerical value of the Ayin is 70, Bet is 2, so together they become 72, and we know that 72 represent the 72 names of God, the totality of the light force. And it's interesting to know that the inner energy of Capricorn is water, but the external energy of Capricorn is earth. So what they feel inside is quite different what they show outside. If you remember, we had this duality in Scorpio. Scorpio has fire inside and water outside. And there are some signs that the both energies are the same. Like Virgo, Gemini is air inside and air outside. Cancer was water inside and water outside. But here we see there is a duality. The water is the interior energy of Capricorn, and the external energy is earth. And this sign considered to be an earth sign. All right. These were some general information about what we're going to learn tonight. Do we have any Capricorn here tonight? We have a little Capricorn.
Capricorn is what, December, January?
Yes, yes. It's the month of Tevet in Hebrew. All right, let's get into characteristic of Capricorn. Let's have fun. Externally, when you look at a Capricorn, they look very stable, very powerful. They stand still. They have this permanent look to them. They have this serious look to them, a very serious look. They seem to have this sadness in their eyes. When they look at you, they don't seem to be very happy. But let me tell you from now, that's only the expression. What they feel inside is quite different. They look serious, they act serious, they walk serious, they stand serious, they look calm. Their bone structure is very strong. The Capricorn has a strong muscles, strong bones, and they look cool, they look calm, they look that they're in control. And one thing about Capricorn is it's difficult to remember a face of a Capricorn. You know, you see a Capricorn today, and you see him again, it's like one of those faces that you say, have I seen you before? You know, they leave an impression on you, but it's difficult to remember the look. The most famous character of a Capricorn is their responsibility. They are very, very responsible. Who else was responsible? Remember? Leo was responsible. Scorpio is responsible. But the most responsible of all is Capricorn. They're very punctual, very responsible. They appreciate time. They appreciate life. They don't waste time. They don't like to waste time. They don't like to waste money. They don't like to waste energy. They care very much about money. Not that they are stingy, but they value money. They value what money brings into their life. And they love to save money. They save. Capricorn saves everything. Capricorn saves his clothes. Capricorn saves his car. Capricorn saves his relationship, saves his money. They're all into saving. But when it comes to the money, even though they save money, they can become very unbalanced in using the money. That means they don't really make any calculation when they play with their money, even though they're very good with it and they could become very good business people. But sometimes they become very unbalanced. Another thing that you may notice from every Capricorn is that they always worry about everything. They worry about future, they worry about today, they worry about money, they worry about family. They're always concerned. Maybe the better word would be concern. They're always concerned about what tomorrow is going to bring. They care very much to put themselves in a situation that they feel that they're in control, that they have everything. The fact that they care about money because money brings some form of stability, some form of protection. They feel good if they have money. Not because they like money, but what the power of money is. They like home. They like to have a home. They love physicality. Everything that comes in a form of physicality, Capricorn cares a lot. And that's one thing that all the earth sign, if you remember when we study Taurus, every earth sign cares very much about physicality. For a Capricorn, it's difficult for a Capricorn to see the tomorrow. They kind of lack imagination of what tomorrow is going to be, how tomorrow is going to be. So they worry, they're concerned. Their belief system, as I said, is very much into physicality. Capricorn, you know, the phrase that it says, "Show me and I believe it," that's a Capricorn. They need to see it. They need to be proven physically that things are good. What's so interesting about Capricorns are that they have a very amazing relationship with old people. They like old people. They like old wisdom. They respect old people. They respect parents. They respect grandparents. They respect the wisdom that comes with age. And what is so amazing is a Capricorn, when they are young, when they're children, they're very, very, they act old. They don't act like a child. You know, a Capricorn child is not so much into playing. They're very serious. They're serious. They act old when they're young. And as they grow old, they would act like children later on at their age. You know, it's like all of a sudden they become old, and now they become like a child. They act like child, they become playful like child, and they enjoy the things that they didn't enjoy in their childhood. They love everything that comes with wisdom. They like science. They read books. They like history. They like politics. And what's so interesting about Capricorn is they're very difficult for other people to penetrate into Capricorn is very difficult. They don't open up so easily. They're very hard to bend. They're very hard to get into their system. They're not flexible. This not flexibility comes even into their, it becomes a problem. If a Capricorn has a problem with his back, with his leg, with his tooth, with his bone structures. Their behavior is very religiously, they act very religiously in an extreme way. They follow instruction, they follow laws religiously, they follow instruction religiously. They're very punctual, they're on time, they care about laws, commitment, responsibilities. They have a lot of pride, they believe in themselves. Capricorn absolutely trusts himself more than anybody else. They have very high esteem, they have very self-confidence, very, they have ego, but the ego is into believing in what they do and what they become and what they can accomplish. Very ambitious, very, very ambitious. You hardly see a Capricorn who doesn't succeed in his life. They want high position. They want, Capricorn doesn't settle for a low position. Capricorn wants to become the best they can be. They become the best doctor. They become the best scientists. They become the best teachers. They want high positions. They have a very, very strong desire. They're very ambitious. And they work very hard to get it. For a Capricorn, challenges is part of the game. They understand challenges. They understand difficulties. They know life is difficult. They don't expect things to be easy. They know you gotta work hard to achieve what you want. And they have that power to achieve what they want to achieve. They set a goal for themselves from childhood, and they strive to get there very much. They don't mind pressure at all. They don't mind disappointment. You know, if they fail, that's all right. That's part of the game. They go on. They don't set back. Nothing set them back. They're fighters in life. Obstacle doesn't bother them. They always look to improve in life. They follow logic. Capricorns are not very social with other people. They like to be with themselves. They like their loneliness. They're not a team players. And like I said, they're very serious, and every time you talk to a Capricorn, they're always serious. They don't show much of excitement. They don't become hysterical. They don't become too reactive. You tell them the greatest stories, it's like, You tell them the most amazing accidents, and it's like, oh, really? Okay. They're very calm. They're quiet. Capricorn is very quiet. They have they have difficulty to express themselves. What they feel inside, they fail to show it outside. They're very patient, very, very patient. Their purpose in life is into physical matters. Everything that has to do with physicality is the name of a game for a Capricorn. They don't show too much of an emotion, I said that. But that doesn't mean that they do not have emotion. They're actually very, very romantic. Very, very romantic. Actually, Capricorn considers to be the most romantic of all the zodiac signs. Most romantic. But they don't express it easily. They have difficulty expressing their love and emotion and their feelings. They are very, very sharing people, very, very good-hearted, and they give and they give and they give, but you must recognize their giving. You must remember their giving. You must mention, you must remember. They always feel that they gave you more than you saw. They always feel like you owe them because they took care of you. They may not say it, but Capricorn always thinks that you owe them because they've been good to you. They've done good things to you. They took care of you. They supported you. They were good to you. They're always waiting for you to say thank you. They're always waiting for you to recognize what they have done for you. And they always feel like the whole world owes them. They're so good, they're sharing, they're giving, and everybody owes them. Nobody is giving as much as they give. And they suffer because of that. They suffer because of that. You know, it's a problem. It's a huge problem when we give and we expect. When we expect respect. When we expect recognition. There's always disappointment in that. Always disappointment in that. Because if our purpose of giving to get something back physically, we always get disappointed because people usually don't recognize, don't appreciate, and they don't give you back what you deserve. But that's not the right way of sharing. When we share, we have to share without any expectation, without wanting to get anything back. The joy of sharing is at the moment of sharing. You know, if you're capable to give somebody something, you have to be satisfied at that moment that you have and you're sharing and you're giving. That moment, the moment of giving, should be the most important moment in sharing. But if I expect to receive thanks, recognition, get something back, then it's not really sharing. It's a need. It becomes a need. And as good as their heart is good, their heart is amazing. They are very, very sharing people. very loving, they're the greatest host. You go to a Capricorn house and they want to give you everything they have, but you must recognize that they're like that. They always feel like they didn't get enough. They've done so much for everybody and they didn't get enough back. And that's a huge issue. Capricorn is not aware that they are cold externally. Capricorn is not aware that they're not showing so much excitement, they're not showing so much passion or so much emotion outside of themselves. They're not aware of that. Somehow they feel like they are not understood. People don't understand them. People don't appreciate them. And because of that, Capricorn, the tendency to become very lonely, to become on their own. They are desperate for love. Capricorn needs love in his life. Capricorn is desperate for love. But unfortunately, they don't show it. They don't show it. They need to be loved. They have to have love in their life. And they demand people to love them. But unfortunately, they don't show it. They follow rules. Rules are very important. Laws are very important. Precepts are very important. For a Capricorn, you know, we have 613 precepts in Judaism. Obeying these laws is everything to them. When it comes to spirituality, they have difficulty connecting to spirituality because spirituality is not about physicality. Religious is about physicality. Spirituality is about energy and angels and feelings. And that's kind of foreign to Capricorns. They're into physicalities. When they become religious, they become very religious, and they connect to the physicality aspect of religious, to the laws, to the halachot, to the stories, to things that they are physical and they can connect with it. And to understand the correction of Capricorn, I guess we all can now see what is their correction is. They have the biggest desire of all the signs. The biggest desire of all the signs. And where is this feeling coming from? If we look at the planet Saturn, which is the farthest planet in our galaxy. You put yourself where Saturn is. Saturn sees everything. He sees the sun, then he sees all the other planets that they're going around the sun, so they see the big picture. And Saturn is the largest planet in our solar system. Why Saturn became the largest planet? Because Saturn had a desire. Huge desire. Huge desire. Always it's a desire that creates the vessel. If you want more, that means you have a huge desire, you have a huge vessel. You know, the inner energy, the internal energy of a Capricorn is what? Water. What water represents?
Love.
I'm sorry?
Emotion. Purity.
Purity, love, compassion,
Going by the flow.
going by the flow, emotion, feelings, sharing, caring, giving. These are all the emotion that they have. So they are full of these, what we call chesed. Chesed is the characteristic of the water signs. They're giving, they're sharing, they're loving, they are passionate, they are full of emotion. But this water is surrounded by what? Earth. And beyond, even beyond that earth, there is this layer of ice which surrounds the Saturn that makes the earth even colder, harder to break through. Capricorn has the potential to be the biggest lover, but then they need to penetrate through this earth that surrounds them, this coldness, this layer of ice that surrounds the Saturn. So inside, they feel the emotion, they feel the love, they have that passion. But because of their surrounding, the earth, the ice, somehow it prevents them to express it, to show it. For someone who has a Capricorn in his life, has to go through, pierce through the earth, pierce through that, the layer of ice to get into where the heart is, where the love is, where the passion is. So it may take some time for other people to really understand a Capricorn, to know. But when you talk about love to a Capricorn, when you're sincere, when Capricorn feels the sincerity of the people who are around them, then that water takes over, when that emotion takes over. True love makes a Capricorn happy. Not false love, not fake love, not fake love, real love, genuine love breaks through the wall that surrounds the Capricorn. And when they see that true love, when they feel that true love, then there is no limit in how romantic, how wonderful, how lovely they can be. And it's a tikkun for a Capricorn to be open, to be receptive to love, and it's a tikkun for the people who are around the Capricorn to understand that they need to be genuine, they need to be real, to have a relationship, a good relationship with a Capricorn. The two letters that governs Capricorn, as I said, is Ayin and Bet. The 72 names, the 70 Ayin Bet Shemot, which is the 72 names. 72 names of God is the tool that Moshe Rabbeinu used to split the Red Sea. In Kabbalah we learn that the 72 names of God are miracle creator, are the energy that we call mind over matter. What happened to the water was something beyond physicality, was a miracle. The chemical component of the water is not supposed to break up, to open up. But Moshe used the 72 names to open that water, to totally overcome the physicality. And that's the potential of a Capricorn, to totally connect to the concept of mind over matter, energy over physicality, a total reality, total aspect, what we call totality of the life force. So what Capricorn truly has and connect to is the Ayin Bet Shemot, is the totality of the life force. But what prevents a Capricorn to connect to that? This earth that surrounds it, this ice layer that surrounds them. So for a Capricorn to be totally happy, if Capricorn stays with all the characteristics of the earth sign, stay as cold and serious in laws and physicality, they're never happy. They will never be happy because money never brings happiness. It brings some comfort, but doesn't bring absolute certainty. Physicality doesn't bring absolute happiness. It's the spirituality that brings happiness. It's the power of certainty, powers of seeing that tomorrow is going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. no matter what. You know, they say the biggest blessing that can happen to a Capricorn, guess what it is? If he or she loses everything that she has. If a Capricorn loses all the money that he has, it's the biggest blessing for them. Because then they realize it's not the money. It's not about money. It's not about position. It's not about the physicality. When they become spiritual, they break that shield, that coldness that surrounds their emotion, their love. And it's prevent them from becoming what they can become. So they do have the ability to go above the limitation of the physical world. They do have the power to go beyond the concept of time and space. But they need to work on themselves. Capricorn has to understand that the true happiness is not into physicality. I said in the beginning that Capricorn represents the nation of Israel. Why? What's the difference between a Jew and a non-Jew? What's the true difference between a Jew and a non-Jew? We learn in Kabbalah that the Jews have the biggest desire to receive, have the most intensive desire. It's the desire. It's their, they call it Ratzon B'Kabel. It's what they want that makes them successful. If you really want something in your life, that makes you become who you want to become. And because Saturn has the biggest desire, biggest vessel, it represents the nation of Israel. The fact that in the beginning I said that Saturn also represents Shabbat, the day of Shabbat. What is Shabbat? What is Shabbat? Shabbat is the soul, is the food for the soul. It's a totally metaphysical energy that exists in the world. And if we don't connect to that energy, we're always not fulfilled. Not fulfilled. The fact that says in the Torah that work 6 days, but totally let one day go. Don't work on Shabbat. Why one shouldn't work on Shabbat? Actually, Shabbat is a very good day to work. There's a lot of sustenance in Shabbat. A lot of people, they think if they don't work on Shabbat, they're not going to make their ends. So they work. People in downtown, the best day is Shabbat. In the business world, Shabbat is the best business day. But that's the duality that exists in Saturn. When you let go of what you think that physicality is going to bring you blessing. It says so many times in the Torah that if you let go of Shabbat, if you don't work on Shabbat, God gives you so much blessing on the 6 days on a Friday that will last you till Monday, even beyond Sunday. But that comes with total understanding the power of mind over matter, the power of metaphysical forces, the power of spirituality, the power of certainty. What lacks in Capricorn is the certainty that I'm going to be fine, I'm going to be taken care of. I don't need to kill myself for the physicality to be happy. Because the happiness is not into the physicality. Shabbat is the day of energy, is the day of mind over matter power. And that's what Saturn represents. That's what Shabtai represents. I have this handout that I'm going to give it to you. And it really helps how to help a Capricorn. How to help a Capricorn, how to improve a relationship with Capricorn. And if you'd be kind enough to post it on the site as well, that would really help. But a few things that I want to repeat again for the Capricorns. They have to understand, they have to share without any expectation. And we all have to understand that our sharing should come with no expectation. I don't want any pride when I give, I don't want any recognition, I don't want anything in return. When I share and I want something in return, no matter what I do, no matter what kind of favor I'm doing, if I expect something to get back something physically, that's my reward. That's my reward. Let's say I help somebody tremendously, and I expect that person to thank me. That thank, that appreciation is all that I'm getting. I'm not getting anything back from the life force, because I don't want the life force to thank me, I want him to thank me. I want the appreciation. And when I want that, I limit my giving, I limit my sharing. And Capricorn has to work on himself to come out, to show their emotion, to not to be scared of showing the emotion, showing the love. Be more willing to take a gamble, to risk. Capricorn is so conservative, so conservative. They play their game with so much consciousness of being right, playing it right, being conservative. Capricorn needs to take chances, to be open. And the true love comes when we give love. I cannot wait for love to come to me. I need to practice love. I need to give love to receive love back. And one of the reasons that the Capricorns stay lonely in relationship is because they're afraid to open up. They're afraid to give love. And that's something they need to do. So, and then if you have a friend or a family, Capricorn in your life, you have to give them love from the beginning. Let them express love. Give them love and let them express love. Be open to them. And try to break that wall that surrounds the Capricorn. All right, any question? It's good? No question?